Hey everyone, so we decided to make this video to update you guys on our pregnancy journey. Surprise, we're pregnant. So for the I am currently 14 and a half weeks pregnant, and I look like this because I kind of wanted to show you guys how it's actually been. So for the past 14 weeks, I have been insanely sick. That's an understatement. So I figured like we'd start this video kind of talking about how we found out, a little bit about our journey, and then get into the fun stuff. So in the beginning of August, or the end of August, we went to Disney World, and we have those, I'll link those vlogs up below. We went to Disney World, and I assumed that I was going to get my period on the trip, and it never came. Now my periods are like clockwork, but unfortunately me and Roy have had, or Roy and I have had, multiple early miscarriages. So when I get a positive pregnancy test, it doesn't always mean that I'm going to have a baby. This is technically my 6th pregnancy, but the 2nd to go past 5 weeks. So I didn't take a pregnancy test. I figured I'd enjoy my vacation. Our vacation in May, I actually lost a baby while I was 5 weeks pregnant in Disney World, and it's just something that I didn't want to go through again. So this past trip in August, I didn't get my period the whole trip. I wasn't worried about it. Then when we got home, I decided to take a pregnancy test. And when I took the pregnancy test, it was a really dark line. Now I have, like I said, this is my 6th pregnancy. So every time I'm about to have a chemical miscarriage, or whatever they call, like before you actually are a week past your missed period, I would get like a faint line. It would never get dark. And if it did get dark, it would get dark and then slowly fade away. So when I took this pregnancy test a week late, over a week late, 6 days late, and it was super dark, I knew instantly that this was going to be a good pregnancy. It was going to stick at least for a little bit. So that day I made an appointment with my doctor to get blood work done, because one thing I've learned about these miscarriages is that if you don't have the blood work to back it up, they aren't as serious with you. They kind of say, oh, how many pregnancies did you have before? My first pregnancy, when I got pregnant, I took a pregnancy test at home, and then by the day that I was due for my appointment, I started to bleed. And they were kind of like, they didn't ask me to come in, they didn't ask me to do blood work. So basically that first pregnancy gets forgotten about a lot. Not by me, but by doctors. So every pregnancy since then, I have made sure to go in instantly and get blood work done. And if I'm miscarrying, I go in so they can see my cervix open, so that every time this happens, unfortunately, they know that I'm being serious. Because I feel like a lot of times women feel like they're not being taken seriously by doctors, and this is just another way where I'm backing up, this is what's happening. So I went to the doctor, I got my blood work done, it was great. My progesterone was fine, my HCG was great. They didn't see me until I was 8 weeks pregnant. Or I'm sorry, 6 weeks pregnant. So I'm 6 weeks pregnant. I go in, let me back up. When I found out I was pregnant, I felt fine. I felt fine the whole time we were at Disney. I felt fine for a long time. Instantly, at 6.5 weeks, I have been nauseous. I've looked like this for the past like 9 weeks. This is like my life right now. I live in sweatpants, hoodies. I go to work like this, not with sweatpants on, but it is horrible. Taking a shower kills me. Taking a shower, I need to rest before, rest during, and rest afterwards for like an hour and a half. It's horrible. And with Marcy, I was really sick after like 5 o'clock, and I would throw up and I'd feel fine afterwards. This time it's been all day sickness. I throw up all day at work. I am miserable at work. I can only work for a couple of hours without feeling like I'm going to actually pass out at my desk. It's just gotten really hard for me to do anything, and even at 14 weeks it has definitely led up to the point where I'm not constantly on the edge of throwing up, but I mean, it can happen at any time, and that's what the worst part about this pregnancy is that I literally gag all day long, and I eat so much because the only time I feel okay is when I'm putting something in my mouth. The second food stops hitting my throat, I am so sick. And that's what's been happening since I found out I was pregnant. At my first appointment, it was like a pelvic exam and yeah, you're pregnant. And it was very frustrating that I waited that long for that appointment because 1, I have a history of miscarriages. 2, I obviously was pregnant. They had my blood work taken. So my first appointment was pointless. And then after that, they were like, oh yeah, let's schedule an ultrasound. So I thought, okay, next day. It was 2.5 weeks later. So I was 8.5 weeks at this time. I got my ultrasound. The baby was perfect. The heart rate was super, super high. It was 179, which is so high. So for me anyway. Marcy kind of stayed at like the 160s my whole pregnancy. I think her heart just started when we got our first ultrasound with Marcy, which was like what, like 105 or something like that, and then it went up to like 160 the whole pregnancy. So it was 179 when I went, and that was great. And then the next appointment I had was like again weird. It was like a full workup, like an annual appointment. While I'm this sick, it was horrible. Like when I'm this sick, I don't want to get a breast exam, I don't want to get a pap smear, I just want to, I don't want to go to the doctor at all. That's also. So we opted in to get the NIPT testing because of our miscarriages. I can do like a whole fertility video one day if it interests anybody, but basically we went to a doctor and they told us, hey look, the fact that you guys keep having miscarriages like the instant you get pregnant scares us because it kind of means that once the genes are hitting each other, something's happening, or chromosomes are hitting each other, something's happening that could be worse than a lot of genetic things that come back that people are already nervous about, like Down syndrome and stuff like that. So she was like, it's something worse than most genetic problems. So that definitely scared us, and so we opted to pay for the NIPT testing. And then after that we did after that testing we had, I'm trying to think, after that testing we found out the baby's gender, and we found out the baby's that the baby, everything came back fine. We have one more follow-up for spina bifida, is that how you say it? So we have one more follow-up blood work for that. It's like I guess it's a 2-part blood work. So one more follow-up for that, and then, but otherwise everything came back normal, and we know the baby's gender, so maybe we'll tell you guys that at a later date. But so far this pregnancy has been horrible. I have had more aches and pains than I ever had with Marcy. I take Unisom. I cut it in half and I take it in the morning and at night. It does nothing for me, but I started taking it just to see if it would do anything. Towards the beginning of this month, the reason we haven't had a lot of like fun videos is because for the past, there was like good 4 weekends there where I just laid in bed from Friday night until Sunday night. So Roy has been doing everything, cooking, cleaning, doing everything with Marcy, which is so, oh my gosh, it's such a lifesaver. So basically the whole pregnancy has been crazy, and I've been sick the entire time. I haven't looked at baby clothes, I haven't planned anything for the baby because I have just been disgustingly sick. So I don't think I'll ever get to, I think, you know, I think that's like, if that can come across as anything, I am super sick and I cannot wait for me to feel better if that ever happens. And people keep saying, oh, you might be one of those people who are just sick the entire time, and that is horrifying. I cannot imagine. With Marcy, I was sick until about 20 weeks or 18 weeks, but it wasn't like this. It was, I threw up at night and I felt great afterwards, and I felt good all day and then I threw up at night. Like, that was manageable. Feeling like I throw up at any time from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, it's kind of like the worst feeling ever. It's extremely isolating. I feel like I don't want to go anywhere with my friends. I don't want to see any family. I don't want to do anything because I'm afraid to throw up. I'm afraid to move. I'm afraid thinking about certain things can make me want to vomit. Like, I love coffee and I cannot even stomach at all. Like I can't even look at it without getting like sick. Like right now I feel like I could get throw up. So this pregnancy has definitely been different than with Marcy, and we are super excited. So let me get into the fun stuff. Let me go get the ultrasound pictures. Oh, I might only have one ultrasound picture right now because I think a lot of them I've already put away. But I'll show you guys ultrasound pictures I do have. And then we can start discussing other things. My friend Stacey actually made me this picture of the baby. So they look just like Marcy with the nose. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Don't mind my nails. I also have like terrible cuticles. I thought I would get like better nails. But this is the little baby. So cute. And we know what their gender is, but I really want to do like fun videos. And that's the other thing I'm upset about. It's like we started this YouTube channel. I wanted to be open and honest and talk about everything from the get-go of this pregnancy. Well, like if we ever got pregnant. But because I've been so sick, I cannot eat. Like me sitting in front of this camera right now took work. And I wanted to be all pretty and like a mom vlogger kind of thing when I sat down at to do this, to announce the pregnancy to you guys. I wanted to look nice. But this is how I end up looking because I think that it's important to be super honest. This is how I look and this is real life, and I can't do my hair and makeup when I feel like this. I am a full-time working mom. I have a toddler. It is just a lot. Halloween is my favorite holiday ever, and my house, to decorate my house took weeks, and I wanted to film all that, but I couldn't because I'm just so sick. So I want to get this video out there because I want everyone to know I'm pregnant, so maybe it'll be fun and exciting for everybody to see how I've been, even though it's been kind of depressing. And I feel I'm happy. The times I get to spend with Marcy, the times that I am home, the times I get to see the baby are the happiest times of my life. But this constant feeling of nausea, not feeling like myself, and feeling like, oh, I can't do that, I can't plan for this because I am so sick, really sucks. And I'm hoping that it ends soon because we did want to take like one more trip to Disney before the baby comes. We had plans to go in November, but it just fell through with how sick I've been and other things. So we might end up, my plan was to go in January for like a baby moon, but bring Marcy with us, of course. But now it seems like right now I don't want to plan anything. I don't want to talk about Disney because I am miserable. So it's not as fun as the update I was hoping my first pregnancy vlog would be, but it is real life and it is what I'm going through, and I want to remember these moments when I am not so sick because that will be the best time of my life. And please think of me and hope that this passes fast. The fun stuff, the fun part of this pregnancy is that we will have another April baby. April 24th is their due date, and we are so excited to have another April baby. April is the time we got married. It's the time that Marcy was born. It's the time we first started dating. April is our month, which is like so weird because I never considered April like a special month, and now it gets to be the most special month of our lives forever. And that's really fun. And the due date is April 24th, which is 3 days after Easter. It would be awesome to have an Easter baby, but I also want to have Marcy gets a full calendar of holidays. Halloween, this is her last Halloween as a little kid. It'll be her last Thanksgiving, last Christmas, and it goes on. So she really has to enjoy these last holidays, and she'll be so excited when the baby comes. We are thrilled for the baby to be here, and really warming up to the fact that we could have a baby sister or baby brother, and it's just so exciting. Those are the good parts about pregnancy. And the good parts about pregnancy is that, coming from somebody who's lost many pregnancies, I've never had to be nervous. Like I've never had to worry, like, is the baby okay? Is their heart beating? Am I gonna start bleeding any month? Because I've been so sick that it is very reassuring. And sometimes I think that that is why I get so sick, because I don't have any family members that get this sick. I don't have any friends who get this sick. So to me, it's just like maybe a sign that I get this sick because of a purpose. I get this sick because I'm a warrior. I panic a lot. So this is just one way of showing me that the baby's fine. When I go for ultrasounds, I'm not holding my breath. I'm not crossing my fingers. I know that the baby's in there and I know that the baby's okay. And maybe that's not true. Like, maybe I shouldn't be that like that, but that's how I am. So I've had a lot of losses in my life. I've had a lot of scares. Luckily with Marcy, her pregnancy was perfect. So I didn't have a lot of scares with her. I didn't have any scares with her. I was never nervous or afraid. I'm a very nervous person, so that was just perfect for me. And so to have another pregnancy like that would be great. So far I haven't had any negative thoughts because I can't. I haven't had any negative thoughts because I'm too sick to have negative thoughts. So I just wanted to come on here and give this update to you guys as raw and as personal as I can be. If there's any cuts, it's really because the camera keeps cutting out of me. So this is pregnancy and we are so excited to have a little bundle, a new baby to have in the house. And I'm hoping the videos from here on out get so exciting and we can talk about the baby's room. We could talk about how we situate our house when we have a smaller house. Hopefully we get to talk about everything fun that we got to experience with Marcy, because those were the best times of our life, and to be able to go through that again seems like an absolute dream. So I'm hoping you guys get to see a lot of great stuff. We'll do a gender reveal on YouTube. We will do I want to do, also that's the other thing I want to talk about, I wanted to do a video like every 2 weeks, kind of updating you on my progress. This is kind of like my first trimester blues video. The first trimester, if you want to know what happened between weeks 1 and 14, I threw up every day and it has been horrible. I throw up bile for 2 weeks straight in the morning. I can only brush my teeth after I've been up for like 3 hours and ate something. It's horrible. My morning routine is laughable at this point. I have I don't even know, like it's sad. So I long for the days where I can take a shower and get out of the shower and straighten my hair and do my makeup and feel better about myself. But those days aren't here yet. So that's my update for weeks 1 through 14. Then going forward, I like to do a video like weeks 15 through 17 and just kind of give you guys like a 2-week update, because I feel like 2 weeks is good to show you guys what's going on. Maybe do a favorites video, what I'm doing differently about this baby. I have so many ideas. I just have to have the time to do them when I don't feel sick and when I can look presentable. So this will be the last video, hopefully, of me in sweatpants and crying to the camera about how sick I've been, and then we can get going on the fun stuff. Yeah, so let me know if you guys have any requests for videos. I'm thinking, you know, the 3-week updates, 2-week updates, what I'm doing differently about a second baby, baby gear that we're getting for the second baby, and a gender reveal. Maybe do like some gender wives tales to see what you guys think, and then post what the baby is. And then what was the other video I was thinking of? I forget. Oh, a fertility video. If you guys would like to hear me and Roy's fertility story, I can tell you guys that too. It is depressing, but it also is different. I have hypothyroidism. We don't really know what causes me to have early miscarriages. I've had 2 before each healthy pregnancy so far. I consider this pregnancy healthy so far. So I've had 2 before I had Marcy, and then 2 after I had Marcy, trying to have this baby. So I don't know if every time I get pregnant it's going to be like that. I hope not. This is probably going to be our last child, but if anything ever happened, I would hope that I didn't have to go through that again. But I can go over that with you if you know anybody who's kind of going through it and you've heard of it. Honestly, I feel like completely alone in it. Everybody I talk to is like, that's so crazy. Why do you lose babies so fast? Same week every time. Yeah, I know it's not early, but it still is concerning. It might not be, I never felt that I need to be justified in saying how sad it is, but it's also concerning. It just makes you feel like that's weird that I can get pregnant so much but also lose so much. It's not, and you know, a lot of people don't consider it a fertility issue because I can get pregnant whenever I want. but it is a fertility issue, and it's an infertility issue. So if you guys would like to hear that story, I can go through that with you. I have a lot of notes on that. So just let me know what you guys want to see on the channel, and I hope that you're so excited for us. We're so excited to be experiencing this with you. I'm excited to have this to look back on. That's the main reason, besides sharing my story with everybody, is because I want to have this to look back on. I want to be able to show people the raw side of my pregnancy, how life is for us, because it's important to me. It's important to me to show you guys like what I'm going through, and also to be able to look back on this for our kids. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure to give it a like if you enjoyed it. And if you didn't like it, maybe something that I can change about myself other than my hair and outfit, because I will be changing that, okay? But please subscribe to our channel. We hope we'll be back on the schedule now, so every Tuesday we'll have a video, and I'm thinking maybe more than that, because I love YouTube. I love posting to YouTube. I also want to say that I've been filming like a what's for dinner this week, because I also been able to cook. Yay! Because I've just been eating a lot of carbs, if you can't tell, and just trying to not throw up. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave me a comment if you're excited for this baby, and leave me a comment if you're sad for me, because I am so sick. But anyway, have a great night, and we will see you next week.